Welcome back to High Stakes. Today, we will be discussing the following MLB matches that is happening on Monday, August 28, 2023. We will be providing our team, total and prop picks for the day. Before we get started, please remember to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss any of our videos. If you want access to our premium picks, you can check out our Patreon page. You can find the link to our Patreon page in the description and comments section below. Cleveland Guardians vs Minnesota Twins. Take the Twins with the money line. And here is why. The Twins entered Sunday with a 6-game lead over Cleveland in the Central. They went 7-5 over their last 12 games with the offense averaging 5.4 runs per game in that stretch. Through 130 games they had a .240 team batting average, ranking them 21st overall, and their 582 runs were 16th overall. Max Kepler has picked up his pace at the plate, hitting .313 with 7 home runs, 14 RBIs, and 19 runs over his last 28 games. The Twins' right fielder leads the club with 21 home runs, with 2 of those coming against Cleveland. Lifetime, Kepler has a .210 average with 22 home runs and 48 RBIs in 109 games against the Guardians. They have already faced off in 7 games this season, with the Guardians holding a 4-3 advantage. Their initial 4-game series in Minnesota at the start of June resulted in a split, featuring 3 games decided by a single run and 1 with a 2-run margin. However, that was quite a while back, and our understanding of their strengths and capabilities has evolved since then. Presently, it's evident that the Twins have the upper hand, despite some remarkably low offensive statistics in certain areas. They consistently manage to muster enough runs to stay competitive. Mida's performances have been reliable, positioning the Twins for victory nearly every time he's taken the mound this season. Notably, he has conceded only 6 earned runs across his last 4 starts at Target Field. Our total pick is under 8 runs. And here is why. The under has gone 6-1 when these two have met this season and 7-3 over their last 10 matchups. They have averaged a total of just 4.9 runs combined in their 7 games this season. No team has won by more than 2 runs either, so these two tend to keep things very close, and both tend to play things very tight. Both clubs have seen 6 of their last 10 games go under, and on the year, they have a combined 136 of their games land under the respective total. Curry has seen 4 of his last 6 starts finish with a total of 7 or fewer runs. Mida's last 2 outings have had a high total, but he continues to keep runs at a minimum, allowing no more than 3 in 13 of his 15 starts this year. San Diego Padres vs St. Louis Cardinals. Our team pick is Padres with the money line. And here is why. The Padres continue to disappoint despite their roster of stars. Heading into Sunday they went 5-9 over their last 14 games, with the offense scoring a run or less in 5 of those losses. They were hitting .237 as a club through 130 games, 24th overall, and their .732 ops ranked 17th overall. Manny Machado and Juan Soto lead the club with 25 home runs each, tying them for 13th in the National League as well. Machado is 16th in the league with 76 RBIs, just 2 behind Soto, who is tied for 13th with 78. Padres pitching has been decent for much of the season, but allowed 5 or more runs in 4 of their last 7 games. Their 3.82 team ERA over 130 games was 4th best overall, and their 1,145 strikeouts were 11th most. Snell picked up a loss in his last start, allowing 3 runs, 6 hits and 2 walks over 6 innings. He had a 6-2 record over his last 9 starts, with a 1.96 ERA and 70 strikeouts over 55 innings. In that stretch opponents hit just .195 against him, and over 12 road starts this season, opponents have hit just .199. The Cardinals' struggles show no sign of letting up this season. They went 2-8 in their 10 games prior to Sunday. The pitching staff allowed a whopping 75 runs in that stretch, pushing their team ERA to 4.73 through 130 games, the 6th highest mark overall. 2 days shy of his 42nd birthday, Wainwright looks to break a run of 5 straight losses. The Cardinals starter has gone 0-8 over his last 9 starts, with a 12.56 ERA, a 2.44 whip, and a .405 opponent's batting average. He has been slightly better at home this season, with an 8.56 ERA over 9 starts, compared to 8.67 in 8 starts on the road. This marks the initial encounter of the season between these teams, with another series set for late September. In a clash of the 2 most underperforming squads in baseball, a clear trajectory emerges. The focal point here is the starting pitching matchup, which speaks volumes. Snell has exhibited brilliance throughout this season, while Wainwright's performance has been consistently subpar, and neither has veered significantly from these trends. The downfall of Wainwright has been quite disheartening to witness, even sparking discussions about potentially removing him from the rotation. Despite this season's outcome being inconsequential for the Cardinals, who seem to have lost their footing, they appear to be letting him continue pitching. The Padres' lineup is undoubtedly robust, albeit they've encountered some challenges. Nonetheless, a few of their key hitters are likely to benefit from facing the struggling Wainwright a couple of times at the plate. Our total pick is take the under 10 runs. And here is why. The last 10 meetings between these teams have seen the under grab a 5-4-1 edge. It's the way that both teams have trended this season, the Padres with 70 of their games landed under, and the Cards with 64. San Diego has been involved in 4 shutouts over their last 14 games, and their offense has scored a run or less 5 times in that stretch. St. Louis, whose offense boasts some similar star power, has suffered similar struggles, putting up a run or less in 4 of their last 10 games. Snell could feast off of this eager St. Louis lineup. Milwaukee Brewers vs Chicago Cubs. Our team pick is Milwaukee Brewers money line. And here is why. The Chicago Cubs crushed the Pittsburgh Pirates in their latest contest by a score of 10-1. Cody Bellinger had 3 hits and 5 RBI on the day, while Jeimer Candelario had 3 RBI as well, including a home run. Seiya Suzuki had a pair of hits and an RBI for the Cubs, and only 2 of the starting 9 hitters did not have a hit in the win. Javier Assad threw for 7 innings as the starter and gave up only 1 run. He struck out 7 and walked 2. Patrick Wisdom is the leader in homers for the Cubs on the year with 20, but Cody Bellinger edges out everyone else with 75 RBIs on the season. Bellinger also has the highest slugging percentage and OBP among Cubs players with a .546 and a .368. His .914 ops also leads the squad, and Nico Horner is at the top in steals for the Cubs with 34. Among the pitchers, 3 different starters have below a 4.00 ERA. Justin Steele has the lowest ERA with a 2.80 and the most strikeouts with 133. Mark Leader has been terrific in the bullpen with 4 saves and 73 strikeouts. He is also carrying a 2.75 ERA and a 0.93 whip. Chicago dealt away Adrian Sampson and Manuel Rodriguez to the Rays and Nelson Velazquez while acquiring Jose Cuas and Jeimer Candelario. Jamison Taillon will get the nod as the starter for the Cubs in this contest. So far on the year he has a 5.60 ERA and a 1.35 whip, both above his career average. In 23 starts, he has a 7-8 record and 100 strikeouts in 115.2 innings pitched. In his last start against the Tigers, Taillon gave up 4 runs in 5.2 innings pitched while striking out 6 and walking 1 batter. 7 players are listed on the injury report for the Cubs, including Marcus Stroman. Stroman and 4 others are out indefinitely. Brad Boxberger and Brandon Hughes are the only players projected to return in the regular season. Milwaukee is on fire right now, and they have proved they can win on the road with a 35-30 record on the year. Chicago is currently holding a wild card spot in the National League, but they are 29-36 against teams better than .500. Wade Miley has been the better starter over the course of the season compared to Jamison Taillon, and the bullpen for the Brewers has been lights out, with Devin Williams leading the way. Considering the Brewers are still underdogs after winning 7 in a row and at the top of the division, I'm taking the Brewers. Take the over, and here is why. The Brewers have totaled at least 9 runs or more with their opponents in their last 5 games in a row, while the Cubs done the same in 6 of their last 7 games. Clearly, both teams are hot on the offensive side of the game, and the Cubs quietly have the 3rd most runs scored in the National League. Considering there are significant playoff implications on the line with this series, I suspect players will be looking to hit and provide be the key to help their team win more than ever before. This is set up for an intense series between the top 2 teams in the NL Central, and I have confidence the bats will come alive as they have done recently.